Hi everyone. Happy Tuesday. So this is super weird. I have my camera turned again, so I don't know where I'm looking. So if I look like I'm looking all over the place, I don't know where to look. So I'm Dr. Jordan Leasure. I'm the owner and physician of North Shore Proactive Health, a state-of-the-art wellness clinic in the northern Chicago suburbs, and we are in our stress boot camp. So I was going back and forth about what to discuss tonight, and I landed on ergonomics at work, since a lot of us are having to work at home for the first time, or you may feel like all of us are working at home for the first time under some extremely extenuating circumstances, hence my setup. And Jan is watching downstairs as I am filming from upstairs. So this nice cheery room is Jan's guest room. I am semi self-quarantining at Jan's as well as my house. Don't tell Trump or anybody. Anyway, we are talking about positioning at work. So what I want to know, again, these are a lot more fun when they're interactive, so give me some feedback. Let me know what your concerns are with your workspace, what you've been noticing since you've been working at home more or working in odd areas more. For me, I have had a horrendous pain in my occiput. We're going on a week now, and I've been adjusted multiple times, and I have not been able to get a massage since my therapists are quarantined in their houses. I have been doing anti-inflammatories. I have not iced. I've thought to myself I should be icing. I think that to myself a few times a day. I still haven't done it. I'm a very poor compliant patient. I have done heat, not to much avail. When I am working and I'm busy, it is not as painful. So many of you may notice a similar complaint. That's why I'm going into such detail. Just because it disappears because you're otherwise occupied does not mean that your problem has resolved. It means that you're too busy and you're thinking about something else. So we are talking today about movement, about proper movement patterns and what you should be doing. I want to remind everyone that health is a journey, not a destination, that it is a process that takes place over time. And why is that important? You know, obviously what's on everyone's mind right now is the virus. It is what has put us in the situation that we're currently in. And I did want to do my makeup and improve my clothes for today, but if you can see, I am commiserating for March Madness. This is my Rock Chalk shirt, so that's why I'm dressed as I am. It was purposely sloppy. So remember that poor health does not just happen. It is a sum of our choices that make up our lifestyle. So you are in full control 24/7 of the health status that you are in. Now, does that mean that you're never going to get sick or you're never going to have pain like this? No. What that means is that when something like this happens, you are going to be in a much better place to either fight it off, should it be an acute infection, a chronic infection, or heal from it, you know, such as an injury or something like that. So that's why throughout all of this, you may sense a common theme. We are discussing a lot of the same topics as they interplay with health, because if you're able to make those changes, you will position yourself much better, whether it is this acute scare we're undergoing right now, or it is lifelong health. Because believe me, whether we get out of here, April 30th, May 30th, June 30th, whatever it may be, there is a life after this virus. So I want you all to be prepared for that time. That's our time. So stay the course. When you take responsibility for your health, you will be getting the most out of life. So just remember that. All of this that I'm discussing is epigenetics. So if it's exciting, if you want to learn more, if you think I'm crazy and I'm full of hooey, do a little research. It is called epigenetics. And how we choose to eat, move, and think is the greatest determinant of whether we will be healthy or well. I'm pulling some of these numbers. I gave them to you yesterday, but I want to go over them again. These are actually from a presentation that I gave 10 years ago, so these numbers are unfortunately dated, which means that they are probably double what they were when I was doing this presentation 10 years ago. So our U.S. medical spending on heart disease is $501 million. On cancer, it's $430 million. Digestive disorders, $337 million. And if you've ever heard me lecture, you know that the gut is the root of all evil. So I'm thinking that those digestive disorders are very underreported. Obesity, 320 million, diabetes, 273 million, arthritis, 118 million, and fractures from osteoporosis, another preventable disease, is $38 million. And those numbers that I just gave you are our U.S. daily spending. That should blow your mind. $430 million a day the United States spends on cancer. And obesity, $320 million on obesity. You know, I have a lot of friends in the hospitality industry, and this is not meant to be any disrespect to them, but everyone is out there very pro, make sure you're eating out. My recommendation is, if you are spending your time in quarantine eating out, please make sure that you're eating out healthy. Please make smart choices. Do not spend the next 45 days in quarantine like this is some free-for-all vacation, because your health and literally your life depends on it. So please be careful with your choices. We're talking about moving today. So, and I just touched my face, don't tell anybody. Move well. 25% of the population spends over 15 hours a day seated. And that was when we were allowed out and about. So I'm assuming that those numbers are unfortunately much higher. Most people spend about 75% of their waking days seated. And again, before all this happened, you may find that hard to believe, but if you think of how you spend your day, you get up, you walk to, I'm assuming, your kitchen, you sit, if you have the opportunity to eat breakfast, then you sit in your car to get to work once at work. And again, the reason I'm going over this is because when we are set free, a lot of us will be engaging in these activities again. So I'm hoping you take some time and you modify some of those behaviors. Again, you drive in your car to work, you take public transportation to work, and then what do you do at work? You sit all day, and then, you know, you do the reverse, and you spend your evening probably sitting on the couch. So let's work on improving that, and especially with this stay-at-home order, get up every hour, change position, change if you're able to work in an office, and maybe change position and work at your kitchen table. We'll talk ergonomics more specifically in a second, but please just get up and move. Even if it's just to go to the bathroom or just to get a drink of water, make sure you're getting your water in. Almost 60% of the working population sits all day, and half refuse to leave their desks even for lunch. Now, I want a hands up, or I want some kind of participation here if you are one of those people that's working from home currently and doesn't leave the desk to eat. And I can tell you that my husband is one of those people, because on days that I'm home, I carry his lunch upstairs. So I know that he is not moving as much as he should be either. He will take breaks and play with Parker, but again, it's not an hourly kind of thing like I would like to see it. Studies show that daily sitting increases your total mortality, coronary heart disease, type 2 diabetes, metabolic syndrome, or obesity. Those who sit the most are 50% more likely to die than those who sit the least. How is that relatable to what's going on right now? It increases your stress. It decreases your lung capacity. Believe me, the people that are out there dying from this virus are not dying from the virus per se. They're dying from cardiac and lung complications. What's the best way to help improve your cardiac and your lung function? Moving, and also sitting up, making sure that your chest is expanded. Pretty much the opposite of what most of us do these days, especially your kids if they're on iPads. Can you see me here? If you're on an iPad, if you're on your phone, do you see what's going on with my shoulders and my posture? It's horrible. It compresses all of your lung function. So now is the time for class participation. So what I want everybody to do that's watching, and yes, that means you at home, I want you to make sure you're sitting up straight in your chair. Put your feet flat on the floor. If you're in a chair, sit back. If you're standing, kudos to you for following instructions. What I want you to do is take a deep breath. Shoulders are back, heart is up to the sky. Hands are either flat on your legs if you're on a laptop, or if you're watching me. Engage in proper posture. Bring the phone up here. Go ahead and take a deep breath. And if you've watched the other videos, all that air is going down into your belly. It is not going into your chest cavity. We're pushing it down into our tummy. Do it one more time. Okay, now what I want you to do is poor posture. So I want you hunched over. Pretend that your phone is in between your knees. Pretend you're a high schooler. Now what I want you to do is try to take that same deep breath. So go ahead. And what did you notice? Feel free to participate. Share your comments in the comment box below. But I would guarantee that you are not able to expand your lungs and reach the same lung capacity that you are when you're sitting up straight with your shoulders back. So think of that the next time that you walk past your kid on the couch, or you yourself are engaging in those activities. And unfortunately, there's some activities we can't get away from, that breastfeeding. It's very hard to breastfeed in proper posture, I'll tell you. After breastfeeding for multiple years, it's very challenging. It's very hard on the back. So some of us get a reprieve. But what does that mean? That the other times you need to make sure that you have very good posture. You're compensating for those poor times. Subluxation, which is your joints not moving the direction or amount that they should be. Subluxations are actually what chiropractors work on day in and day out. So see me if you are experiencing subluxations, or see your local chiropractor. Subluxations cause an exercise deficiency because it prevents subluxated joints from moving properly. And that's what we do as chiropractors. We make sure those joints are moving properly so that instructions are getting from your brain to all of your organs and systems, and vice versa. Your organs and systems are able to communicate appropriately and send feedback to your brain on what's going on in the environment and in the environment of you as a system. Now, a handful of healthy characteristics of proper physical fitness. And if you have watched my videos and you have a piece of paper and a pen next to you, take a few notes. I would like to see everyone engaging in daily aerobic activity. So you're doing something, you're able to carry on a conversation, whether that's going on a nice walk with your friends or family right now, or hopping on your Peloton bike, which I have one ordered. So I'm going to be looking thinner in these videos. You just better watch out. Daily agility activity. And again, depending on how much space you have at home or in your yard, think of, the football players where they set up those cones and they weave in and out of the cones. Okay, that's an agility activity. You can mimic some of that at home if you're feeling really ambitious. Set something really cool up for your kids and do it with them. Engaging in daily balance and coordination. Now, there's no excuse here. We all have room. You could stand on one foot while you're brushing your teeth. I would dissuade you from doing it in the shower while you're washing your hair. But while you're cooking, while you're washing dishes, there's lots of time you can work on your balance and coordination. Daily flexibility. Now, this could be yoga for you. It could simply be stretching. But try to do a few different activities that way. I promise that you will start getting better with a little bit of practice. That's the number one complaint I hear from people. Daily spinal hygiene. Okay, are you ready for your next participating activity? So we'll see if I can do this because, again, I'm on my phone. So everybody stand up. Okay. So I teach these every time that I lecture. I teach them to all patients. Spinal hygiene should be similar to brushing your teeth. You should do this every single day. What I want you to think of is the song YMCA, but we are doing YWTL. Stands for youthful, wise, thoughtful, and loving. The way that you should be engaging with yourself and others. So if you're ready, we are doing Y. You're going to have your shoulders nice and relaxed. Arms are going to be up toward the sky. Those fingers, you can't see them on me, but they're active. Literally, I am up towards the sky. Y. And then W, we are bringing those arms down. Elbows should be in line with the shoulders. YW. And then T. Bring those arms out straight. Again, nice and strong. Those fingers are active. They're not just hanging out there. I'm feeling this in my thoracics, my mid-back. I've got my scapula sunk down in my back, YWT, and we bring that in nice and tight for L. Youthful, wise, thoughtful, and loving. And if you practice that twice a day, similar to brushing your teeth, I guarantee that you will improve the health of your spine. And it's kind of funny, yes, easy to remember, and very effective for your health. Doing some daily postural conditioning. That may be chin retractions. If you've done any rehab in our office, we do a lot of those for some of these cervical conditions. Also core activities. And you want to make sure the number one thing I see in our office when it comes to core, people don't know what their core is. It is not just your abs. Also making sure that your glutes are activated. One downfall of all of us sitting, in addition to our lung capacity and our heart functioning, is that our butts fall asleep. If you think of yourself wearing jewelry, your wedding ring, for instance, after a little bit of time, you forget you have it on. The same happens to your butt. You're sitting 24/7, and essentially your butt goes to sleep. Your glutes are no longer activating. If you find yourself, or maybe you've seen older adults get up from a seated position, they have to rock themselves forward, they have to grab onto chairs and push themselves up, that's a problem. What you want to be doing is you want to be utilizing your butt, you want to be driving through those heels, and you come right up from a seated position. Give it a try right now if you're feeling super engaged. But that's what we want to see. We want to see the butt doing all of the work. It should be firing. And it's kind of funny, but if you're sitting there in the seat, if I ask you to squeeze your cheeks, can you do it independently? And ladies, this is not a Kegel. It's happening on the outside. Men, you can do it too. Cheek, 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 cheek. And if you can't do it, you need to schedule an online consultation with me, and we'll work on it over video, because that is the key to proper core functioning, is to make sure your glutes are doing the work that they should be, so your back isn't overworked and you're not straining yourself. I will save you thousands of dollars at your chiropractor if you get your butt to work. Feel free to PM me for scheduling availability. Our core stability is huge. Doing regular anaerobic activity. What is that? That's kind of what I'm doing right now. Talk really fast so you're not breathing. But in reality, that's engaging in activity that is, so if aerobic activity is you working out and being able to carry on a conversation, anaerobic activity is where you kick it up a notch. So if you're jogging on the treadmill and you can talk to your neighbor, talk to your spouse while you're doing that, anaerobic activity would be when you're running and you can't catch your breath. You want to do that periodically because it helps, again, to train your cardiovascular system. Do regular muscular strength and power activities. So, where are my CrossFitters? Say hello. This is where CrossFit is fantastic. CrossFit kind of falls down some box gyms because they do not do proper conditioning with their clients. And a lot of people are doing exercises that they should not be. Again, their glutes aren't activating. I mean, I could do a deadlift all day long, but if I'm not doing it appropriately, I'm going to end up hurting myself. Get proper sleep, rest, and recovery. Now, I'm sure you've heard me hit that before. Go back a few days and watch my video on sleep and sleep hints and tips. But that is just as important as all of this hard training and all of these workouts and all this conditioning I'm discussing. You have to be able to allow yourself time to recover. So make sure that you are trying some of this. If it's new to you, if you have questions, always send me a private message. We can break this down again. I was serious about scheduling an appointment. If that sounds good to you, we're doing a ton of virtual rehab appointments with patients, and it's awesome. All you need is a room where you have a flat floor and you can do a little bit of work. It's going to be fantastic. Posture affects all modern and modulates all human functions, both consciously and unconsciously, from breathing to hormone production to thinking. And why is that? Again, our nerves, our brain, our spinal cord, our nerves are in control of everything that's going on. And if we have poor spinal hygiene, if we have poor posture again, then our nerves, our joints are not going to be moving the way that they should be. And all of that movement is sending little signals back to the brain. So if we're getting inefficient or incorrect signaling, then none of our systems are going to be working as well as they should. And that's why you may hear chiropractors discuss how getting adjusted is beneficial to the immune system, getting adjusted helps with heart, getting adjusted helps with everything under the sun. We have patients that have had hearing difficulties, and getting adjusted helps their body balance out and helps to restore healing. So essentially, anything under the sun that is a physical body process could be helped by getting adjusted by a chiropractor, and that does not mean that the chiropractor themselves are doing anything. They are allowing your body to function the way that it was designed to function. They are removing interference. That's it. They're not treating. Don't think of it in an allopathic model like you're taking a pill or something like that. We're just allowing the body to work the way that it should. So a few tools. I've had a lot of patients looking for rehab equipment. I know a lot of online retailers are sold out. It's very easy to work out at home, simple body weight exercises, so don't feel like you need all this new equipment. Physio balls we use at home, or excuse me, it might as well be home. We use at the office balls that are pop proof. And that doesn't mean that they can't get a hold, but what it means is that if your child or your dog is playing with it and they bite it, it's not going to explode in their face. And obviously, I did that on purpose. They're a little more expensive, but so that you know if you're shopping for one, you really do get what you pay for. So be careful if you're purchasing from these online retailers and you don't know for sure. My recommendation would be getting one of these, and they're not called pop proof. The term is just escaping me right now, but take a look for that. Also, physio bands. We use a lot of those in the office. We still have some in stock, so we can ship them to you. If you're looking to work out and you do need a little bit more resistance and you can't find weights, physio bands are fantastic. They're different colors based on resistance. We also use a lot of balance discs to make some of those balancing activities a little more challenging because it is so important. So again, if you were taking notes, try to do cardio 3 days a week. Try to do resistance exercises 3 days a week, and those may be the same, they may not. Do stretching daily, and I want you to get up and move every hour. And that doesn't need to be, a half an hour walk for every hour that you're working, but you could get up and do your spinal hygiene exercises, you could stretch, you could do a quick sun salutation if you do yoga. Just move a little bit, and I promise you will be that much more effective while you're sitting at your desk and working. A sedentary lifestyle is associated with lower cognitive skills. And again, in this day and age, I don't think any of us can afford that. I myself can't. Inactivity increases the risk of all site-specific cancers. So that means lung cancer, breast cancer, prostate cancer. All site-specific cancers are increased with inactivity. Physical inactivity is the third leading cause of death. It is contributing to the second leading cause of death, which is obesity. So again, these are all preventative. I have one in my hair. Oh, Jan. I didn't see Jan's comment. I missed it. Okay, what's next? So implementation. As always, please add positives first. So if you're looking to change behaviors, notice I try not to tell you to not sit. I tried to motivate you to modify maybe how you're sitting and also how long you're sitting. So add your positives in first. If you have to work 8 hours straight, still work your 8 hours. But again, add those positives. Get up, take a quick break, do a quick stretch. Eat fresh fiber every single day. Eat fresh fiber first. We're probably going to do a talk in the next couple days on meal planning because we've had a lot of private questions on that. So the best thing you can do when you sit down to eat, whether you have planned out your meal or you ordered in or whatever it may be, whatever's on your plate that is alive or was, and we're talking fruits, vegetables, things like that, eat that first before you dive into what's dead, your meat, obviously. Try to take organic supplements daily. We've had a big run at the office on vitamin C because that's in the news now as being effective at helping boost your immune system against viruses. Incorporate activity daily. And again, it doesn't matter what kind of activity, just do some kind of activity, please. Make your choices based on how you'll feel after. And I was discussing this the other night and Parker kind of came in, so it might have been a little broken up and the translation may have been lost. But the easiest way to think about this is, when the alarm goes off at 5 a.m., do I want to get up, and this is pre-quarantine, do I want to get up and go to the gym? Not necessarily. But I do it because I realize how fantastic I feel afterwards. So that's me focusing on that after feeling. The same goes with poor choices. Use a large holiday, for instance. Thanksgiving, the big thing is to be tired and to fall asleep on the couch watching the football game. But in reality, if you want to maintain your healthy feelings, what you want to do is focus on how you want to feel after. So maybe instead of going back for seconds or an additional helping, you take what you're going to eat first time around, and that's when you're done. So focus on making your choices based on how you want to feel after. Start each day with a smile, and I always say, doesn't matter how, but start each day with a smile, and then finally end each day with gratitude. We've discussed the importance of keeping a gratitude journal. When it comes to movement, keeping a gratitude journal in research is as effective in improving your health as working out. Now, that doesn't mean you get to ignore the last 40 minutes of my talk, but picture how healthy you would be if you were not only working out and doing your healthy movements every day, but you were also keeping a gratitude journal. 2 thumbs up. So if there's questions, as always, please send me a message. I don't know if people aren't asking questions or if they're not showing up on this video. So let me know what I can do to be of service. Oh, there's a handful, but I can't see on my computer. So, as always, if there's a topic that you want to hear about, please send me a message and we will talk. This group is for you. And whatever I can do on a daily basis, I'm available in between taking care of Mr. Parker. So anything, questions, referrals. I know we have people tuning in from all over the country. My one request, I've had a lot of people say thank you for spending your time, thank you for sharing your knowledge, and absolutely, as you can tell, I love to talk. Would talk all day, every day, given the opportunity. My one request is share the group, because you never know who's not okay. And I'm a professional. I know all the things I should be doing. I know all the direct health benefits to the choices that I'm making, and I still don't do everything 100%. Now, there are people out there that don't know what they should be doing, and they don't know that maybe what they're eating or their inactivity is directly contributing to how they're feeling, and they feel like they're in a rut, or they feel like they're drowning. My best analogy for what's going on right now in the world, at least how it makes me feel when I'm feeling depressed, is I feel like I'm in a rowboat in the middle of a lake, and I have no oars, and there's no one around to help me. So that's some of why I'm doing this, so that everyone can, realize we're all in this together. It's going to end. And here's some hints and tips to keep you healthy while this is going on. Maybe even improve your health while this is going on. So use this time for you. Nobody asked me if I wanted to spend 2 months watching my business circle the drain and be trapped in a house with a toddler whom I love dearly, but still driving me insane, and not be able to go anywhere. Nobody asked me if I wanted to do that. So it can feel helpless. But if you turn that on its head and you say, I'm given this opportunity to work on me, what can I do so that things improve over this time? That's why we have this group. So let me know how I can help. Let me know what you're struggling with. Again, if you have a question you want to propose to the group, we can do it anonymously. If you have a question you just want to ask me, please send it to me privately. If you have a topic you want to hear about, let's play Stump Jordan. I don't know. But I'm otherwise just going to talk about things that help me and that I like. So let's make this a little different. Let's mix it up. So have a wonderful evening. I'm off to eat dinner. And I love you. Thank you for tuning in. Mwah. We will see you tomorrow night.